Hello and welcome to the show. This is our 200th video. Yay!
Woohoo!
We have made many videos. I can't believe we've got to 200.
Big milestone.
It is. Now, for today's video, got a bit of a special going on. Don't worry, the normal Saturday video will be uploaded later. Not quite sure when, but it will be. Now, today's special, I saw this suggested a few videos back. We should do, we'll sort of talk about our favourite cars, our favourite front-wheel drive, favourite rear-wheel drive, and favourite four-wheel drive car. That was really hard to say. Try to say those words all in a line. Anyway, yes, here we are. These are our favourite rear-wheel drive cars. Mine, not surprising really, is it? Come on camera, there we go. Didn't expect us to be going slow. My car, not really surprised. Shelby Daytona. I've talked about this car loads. It's an amazing car. Daniel's car, yours surprised me actually. I was not expecting to pick the Sierra Cosworth.
Yeah, I know. I can imagine people have thought that I was going to... Well, naturally, I would have picked the Ferrari F40. Now, this is where it gets tricky and complicated because I'm a complicated and awkward person. So,
that's very true.
The Ferrari F40... Yeah, the Ferrari F40 is one of my favourite cars of all time. It's just a brilliant car in every way. Just specifically a rear-wheel drive car, then this is. Now, this was like... I mean, my dad has always loved the car. This is the car that every one of his time generation wanted, or time period when it came out. This was the car to have. And that's what I love about it. It was a car that everyone wanted regardless of what, you know, if you like cars or not. It was just a car that you saw and you think, yes, I wanted it. And I just love it for that. It's just, and it looks insane as well, especially with the Mahusive wing and stuff like that. But so yeah, it's just, it was a really weird car because well, not really weird, but obviously it raced in pretty much everything you can imagine. Australian touring cars, world touring cars, even raced in rally and won a race, I think. Was it in...
I can't remember. It
wasn't the most successful rally car, but it did win...
McRae
It did win World Rally in '88.
I think McRae drove one of these, and I'm not sure if he had them particularly long, but I'm pretty sure I remember seeing him driving them. Now, when we're talking of motorsport, we should talk about Shelby a little bit. As it goes through a tunnel, it has a fantastic engine as well. It's just brilliant. Listen to that. You cannot not love that engine. A fantastic engine.
Mine doesn't sound that good.
No, unfortunately, the Cosworth isn't going to stand much of a chance against the Daytona. So yes, the Cobra was built to race Le Mans. It was, now I can't remember exactly. I've probably got this wrong, but this was the first attempt at the Americans trying to beat the Ferraris at Le Mans. Was the Daytona, and in fact the people who worked on the Daytona, quite a lot of them went on to work on the GT40, which did succeed in beating the Ferrari. The Daytona never did win Le Mans. It did win some endurance races. It won at Sebring, I think, and it won a few others. It wasn't the most successful racing car in the world, but it did have some success. I love the engine in this thing. That noise is just amazing. I also love the way it looks. It's got to be probably the best looking American car ever built. I can't think of any that I would pick over it.
One of, yeah.
Yeah. It is slightly expensive, shall we say. There are 6 of them in the world, of which I think either 2 or 3 of them are in museums. They are insanely expensive. I think the last one that sold was $5 million. It's ridiculous money.
Oh, it's a tad more expensive than the Ford.
Yeah, just a little bit more expensive than the Sierra, and quite a lot rarer. Now we move on to front-wheel drive cars. Now these ones were probably the most interesting of the categories because you guys will have no idea what the sort of cars that we would pick. I have picked the Fiat Coupe. Now this is... Oh, it's even surprised me actually. I was going to pick the Scirocco R. The Scirocco R is a fantastic car to drive. Amazing car to drive. One of the fastest front-wheel drive cars ever. And then I had to go in this. And this is just more fun. It is a bit slower. However, it only costs 7,000 credits, which is not very much at all. In fact, I'm actually looking at buying one of these in real life as my next car because they aren't particularly a huge amount of money. They've got 2-litre turbo engines, 200 horsepower, and they're just fun to drive. It handles really well for a front-wheel drive car. And I think it looks pretty good. From the back, it's a bit weird, but from the front, it's pretty cool coupe. And
not the most practical car.
No, but who cares? It looks kind of cool. It sounds pretty good and drives really, really well. Whereas you have got a Golf.
Oh, everyone, I think this is probably the most, well, this is the most well-known hot hatch of all time. It is the Golf GTI. My dad had one of these, and he had the Mark II, but he had the 16 valve version, which had 137 brake, And these sold, well, the Golf GT, well, the Golf in its, itself, it sold 6.3 million between 83 and 92. 6.3 million. You can tell how popular these things was. These things were. So yeah, good use of
English is
but
failing.
yeah, these are English is failing. So yeah, this is just one of my all-time favourite hot hatch because it's simple. It's a car with an engine, has a bit of power, very light, and just handles brilliant.
I would hope a car has an engine. If it doesn't have an engine, it's in trouble.
If it doesn't have an engine, it's a slight problem. But yeah, it's just a basic engine, little bit of power, and it just weighs nothing, which is what I love. It's just such a fun car. And I don't think these were they weren't exactly expensive. I mean, nowadays you can get one, Mark IIs, they're going for 12, 15 grand.
That's for a very
back
good
when they came out. Yeah, but back then they weren't exactly. Yeah, bad one you can get for even 6 grand, 7 grand for a half decent. But yeah, this is just a brilliant car that I think everyone should drive at some point in their life, just to see what a hot hatch is.
Yeah, I'd very happily have one of them. Now we move on to four-wheel drive cars. Daniel's choice, that's no surprise. We all knew what that one there was going to be.
Yes.
The bright orange Aventador. My one, I'm thinking most people will probably guess this one as well. It is the 205 T16. Now this is a rather big difference in performance. I'm going to be honest. The other cars have been sort of like a class between them maybe. This is a sort of slightly bigger gap. The 205 is C-Class, the Aventador is R3. So we're not going to be fair, we haven't been racing much. We're trying to drive sensibly.
We've been sensible.
Yeah, which is the change for us. So the 205 T16 only has 200 horsepower. It is in fact the slowest car which I picked here, lowest PI of the cars. I did a review of it, one of the early episodes actually, quite a long time ago, and I maintain to this day that the 205 is the best handling four-wheel drive car there is. It is such a nice car to drive. You forget that it's four-wheel drive. It handles so nicely. It's probably the best handling hot hatch there is. It's kind of a little bit different because it's a homologation car. Yeah, go away. That's no fair. Come back. It's gone. The 205 really is a fantastic car to drive. If you have the DLC, go drive it because it is amazing. It only has a 1.8 litre engine, but it's turboed and it's brilliant.
So, in contrast to a small French little car, we have a big, orange, loud, flamboyant Lamborghini. There's two reasons why. Is there two? I'll count after I said them. So yeah, the first reason is it's a Lamborghini, which it should be a reason in itself. I should allow for that. The second reason is the fact that it is absolutely insane. I mean, listen to this. That sound is one of the best sounds ever. Just
I think the Shelby's a bit better. Although that's a matter of opinion.
It depends what you like. It depends on what you prefer. If you prefer a big, nice V8, Shelby's better. A nice V12, and this is probably the best. So yeah, it's loud. It's
you hit the wall.
Fast. I may have hit the wall, but gloss over that. It is very fast. Very fast. So yeah, another reason why I like it, and it's just a bonkers car. Okay, it's got four-wheel drive, so it's a little bit tamer than what it should be. But when it's packing 700 horsepower. I'm not really bothered, to be honest, if it's packing four-wheel drive, but it's got 700 horsepower and near enough the same amount of torque. So I think four-wheel drive is a slightly good option there, but yeah, I'm drifting here, so you can drift it still, and you nearly hit me, very nearly hit me.
I wasn't expecting you to rip the handbrake on there, I'm going to be honest. So it is possible to drift the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini Aventador is a very, very, very good car, I will be honest. Not my favourite. As I've said many times, I'm not a fan of hugely powerful four-wheel drive cars. That's why I like the 205. There's only 200 horsepower, so it's not enough to sort of create understeer problems. As you'll see there, you waited too long, and I actually beat the Aventador in the race.
Yeah, I know. I was going to just mess about and mock him, but he won. So
yay for me. So there we go. That is our favourite cars. Now, I've been thinking. I've come up with a really quite nasty question. You guys who are watching this video at home. Okay, leave your answers to this in the comment section. I haven't told Daniel this question, so this is some quick thinking is going to be required on this one. Right, okay, this is a hypothetical as well, by the way. So yeah, all right. Imagine, okay, it's a hypothetical question because this doubt this will ever happen. Okay, so imagine you can have any car in the world, absolutely any car you want. All right, doesn't matter whatever it is. It can be as rare. It can be like a one-off prototype thing. You can have any single car you want. However, and you get the insurance paid for. Okay, so it can be a ridiculous thing.
Okay.
Your insurance is free, and you can have this car. Okay. However,
Yeah.
there are one condition or a few conditions. You have to pay for the fuel yourself. Okay, so all the fuel that goes in it, you have to pay for. So if you go for, I don't know, say, I'm trying to think what's sort of the least fuel economy, like a Hummer that does 1 mile to the gallon. You know, you're going to have to pay for the fuel yourself. The other condition is you have to use this car as your everyday car. You cannot have any other cars in your household. You have to use that for every single journey. If it breaks down, you have to pay for it. Okay. This is assuming that your job is a sort of fairly average earning job. Sure, if you're a millionaire, it doesn't matter. You can have what you want. But it's assuming that you have a fairly average earning job. So, what car would it be? I've come up with a solution, or come up with what I would have. I'm going to give Daniel some time to think about this, because knowing him, and Ari, it would take a while to get to the answer. So, we've got some important news to get out of the way, so we thought we might as well do this now. So, the first thing, we are going to be hosting an event. Where's it gone? I've got a calendar, so remember that day. On Saturday the 18th at 7 o'clock, we're going to ask you guys to come join us. We're going to do an evening of racing and filming, because we've got loads of videos that we need sort of multiple people for. And we've been putting off organising it because I've been going away at weekends and we've been busy. However, we've got a date. It is sorted out. On Saturday the 18th, we're going to start at around 7 PM GMT time. Hopefully people will be able to make it. And it will go on for most of the evening. It will probably end at around 10 or 11 whenever I start falling asleep. It will be all sorts of stuff will be done. As far as cars that you are required, most of the cars we will be using are fairly standard stuff. I will say though that it would be highly advantageous to have the May Top Gear Pack DLC, because there are a number of cars in there that I'm planning on using for stuff. So yes, you're kind of going to need that pack. You can still take part if you don't have that, because we will be doing other stuff. However, I think about 3 of the events are going to require cars from that. So hopefully most of you will have that DLC. Now, if you want to take part, I have some more news. I have got a second Xbox Live account. The username, or the game tag, whatever you want to call it, is FailRace. That's purely for sorting out stuff to do with this channel. So you can add that, you can send that messages. That's going to be the account for FailRace stuff, rather than the one I have now, because I've kind of got my friends list is full, my inbox is all messed up with entries. So if you want to take part, add that gamer tag and send me a message on there saying that you want to take part, and then I will invite you on the evening. Now, we are aware there could be internet problems, there can be connection issues. We will try our best to get as many of you in as possible. I'm sorry if you're at different time zones. We're doing it on the weekend, so that if you're in America, if you're at school or at work or whatever, hopefully that's the best time we can do to suit everybody. I know it's not perfect, but we can't really do much about it. It's sort of the best we can do. I think I've covered that. Next one, yes, quite a lot of people have been asking about a racing series, like a first gear racing series, FailRace Racing League or whatever. We are going to be hosting one. We're not sure quite when it's going to start. We're going to be running a V8 Supercar Championship, because them cars are absolutely awesome. You can find all the information. They're the best racing series in the world. You can't really argue with that. Now, to find the information is all on our forums. Now, I know people hate signing up for another account on another website. The reason we're doing this is to keep sort of the details of everybody who wants to race in one place. It is so much easier to do that than have friends spread out over mine and Daniel's friends list and all things mixed up. So go sign up on the forums, go sign up to take part in the V8 Supercars if you want to race with us. I think it's about 5 races. It's 5 races in the series.
It's going to be 5 races. The only reason I'm doing that is because from previous experience, if the races are any longer, then people just lose interest. So that's the reason why we're only having 5 races. If it's successful, we'll do it again with another race series, and we'll maybe put up to like 7 or something. But also, if you want to race, send a friend request to the FailRace account, because then it makes it easier for us to do it.
Yeah,
it's put it all in.
Yeah, much easier using a whole separate account that's like completely blank. I would like to point out, as some of you will probably have seen in Tuesday, me and Daniel are blooming fast racers, so there will be some tough competition out there. Hopefully it will be good fun. We'll see how it goes. If it's popular, we may make videos, we may not make videos. It will depend, 1, on time, and 2, how good the races are. Also, there can be problems with the replays. If the races exceed a certain time limit, replays can they cut off which we've mentioned about it before, which can make a mess of things. So there may be highlights reel, there may not be. So yeah, but we'll see how it goes. That should be quite good fun. And I think we've covered everything. So have you thought of a car? We're going to get back to the question.
Yeah.
What car would you have?
First of all, say what your car you'd have. I'm intrigued.
Now, my choice, I've got two and I couldn't decide. First of all is a Honda NSXR, because they are they're reliable. They do, like, I think when I reviewed it, there have been versions that have done like 200,000 miles, which is pretty damn good for a supercar. They're good looking, they've got fairly good visibility, and I think they're an all-round pretty nice car, and it wouldn't cost a fortune to run because it doesn't have a huge engine in it. My second one is a 911 of some description, because again, they're a sort of supercar, sports car that can be used every day. They would be my choices. I'm not quite sure which one I would go for, but that would be mine. So, have you got an answer, or are you going to be waiting here for like another 20 minutes of you a minute and a half?
Right. Can I choose two, please?
Yes, you can go for two, because I kind of
right. I will go for two. Unconditioned. These are literally borderline with each other. There is no one that I would choose to have or prefer to have. They are literally the two exactly the same. I'd either have a Noble M600. I bet you didn't think I'd say that.
You'll be spending a lot on fuel.
A Ferrari F40. I've got to have it. I couldn't not. It is just my favourite car.
You could have a Ferrari. It would sit on your garage, and not garage. It would sit on your garage roof. There we go. That would probably be a place where it would spend all its time, because it would be broken and you wouldn't be able to afford to fix it or run it.
That would be fine. But yeah, these are the two I would have. There was no comparison. I couldn't have any other. As much as I like Porsches. But, you know.
Well, there we go. So yeah, if you want to play along, leave what cars you would have. It's more fun to play this sensibly. Yes, I would love to have a Viper. It is the car that I want to own, but you couldn't have that as an everyday car, especially not in England. In America, I know things are different because of fuel prices. In England, have a Viper, and it would just cost too much to run every day. So yeah, it would just sort of be a bit silly. So yes, leave comments. What car would you have? I'll be interested to see what people say. I am 100% sure there are people who are going to say silly cars, but never mind. So there we go. That is it. We've come to the end of our 200th video. And amazingly, we've been sensible and factual, and nothing has fallen over and broken and blown up.
No, we have been successful in our videos.
Yes, yay for us. So there we go. That is it. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching and for watching all of our other videos. Until next time, though, goodbye.